Thank you, Tim. That is a true story. You can check it. Ask Teddy.
Great job.
Thanks, Tim, for that fine introduction. I also want to thank you for working with, as I understand it, I guess it was you, Dave Gamber, Teddy, and several others that put my name forth to be inducted into this ceremony tonight, so thank you very much. Before I go too far, I also want to congratulate the other inductees on their nomination and induction into the Coventry Athletic Hall of Fame. Just a fabulous opportunity. For those of you who attended the Thanksgiving football game, where's Billy? Did he leave? According to Billy Lyons, I graduated way back in the 70s. To be exact, it was 1975. It's 40 years since I've walked through the halls of Coventry High. There's been a lot of water over the dam in those years. But I can tell you honestly, the skills, the attributes, and the lessons that I learned at Coventry High, I employ every single day of my life, and hopefully I've taught my children. I don't get a chance to talk in the public very often. I'm in sales. I talk to people one-on-one for the most part. Please excuse me if I can share a few stories about some of my experiences and some of my stories at Coventry. Before I go too far, however, I just have to thank my best friend from high school. We've been married for 35 years. She's the love of my life. And the reason I say that is at my daughter Erin's wedding, I gave the father of the bride speech. And very proud moment, first one in our family to be married. I did everything right, but one thing, I forgot to thank my wife. I have since thanked her, but I'm going to do it again. Thank you, Mary. As my brother Tim mentioned, we have 3 children. My son Matthew, who did fly in last night, and I was totally surprised, did not expect that at all. Matthew recently got married to a lovely woman, Olivia, who's in medical school out in San Francisco, where he and Olivia live. My daughter Erin and John, and if you haven't seen Erin, she's the one expecting. And then Megan and Dean Andrikos, and unfortunately the littlest one of our family, Owen Parker, is not here tonight, but he's home sleeping so far. That's what I've been doing for the last 40 years. And if you'll excuse me, that's my Hall of Fame. I had the opportunity to attend Coventry back in the 70s. We were on what was called split or double sessions. And as someone mentioned, we went to school as freshmen from noontime till 5 o'clock in the evening. And then as a sophomore, junior, and senior, you would go from 7 in the morning till approximately noontime. I had the opportunity at Coventry to play football, baseball, and of course basketball. If you allow me, I'd like to tell a story about all of my experiences in the 3 sports. It was during my freshman year of football tryouts that I had the opportunity to meet Coach Dave O'Donnell. I'd never played football before. Sure, we played street football and stuff like that, but I'd never played organized football. I was always too tall, lanky, and I guess I weighed too much. I can remember the very first day. We're getting dressed and the pads are being handed out, and I had to look around the room to realize what pad goes where and how to get dressed. I'd never done this before. If you've never played football before, what position would you want to play? Quarterback, of course. So with some coaching from Coach O'Donnell, I became the starting quarterback of the freshman team. We were okay. We had some fun. I learned an awful lot. And I remember one game in particular, we were playing at Payne Field under the lights. I was a right-handed, or I am a right-handed thrower. And the simple play that we had was a sprint right pass where I would take the snap, sprint out to the right, look for an open receiver, throw the ball. The play I remember, however, was a sprint left pass. So being a right-handed thrower was a little bit more difficult. As I sprinted to the left, I didn't see any open receivers. I reversed field, started running towards the right sideline. As I looked upfield, I didn't see anybody in front of me. So I literally took off, and without exaggeration, I ran 60 or 70 yards untouched into the end zone. I immediately threw the ball high into the air, And the referee approached me and said, "Son, you can't do that." It was later, after the game, that I found out my mother, who was attending the game, literally ran down the sideline, step for step with me, yelling, "Throw the ball, throw the ball." I don't want to make a bet. I think I outran it, but I'm not sure about that. Football was probably the most fun I had playing sports in high school. We had just great teams, great fun, and it was something that I had never done before. We played with great guys. As I mentioned, Dave Gamba, Glenn Jennings, Wayne Carter, Barry Blair, Ron Lepre, and two of my classmates, L.A.L. and Andy Costa. After starting as a freshman, I moved up to the varsity my sophomore year and was really expected to be the backup to a gentleman by the name of Wayne Carter. And Wayne had probably a better throwing arm, better ball skills, just an overall understanding of football better. But unfortunately, Wayne got hurt early in the year, preseason actually. So I was moved into the starting role of quarterback. Coach O'Donnell set up a scrimmage with East Greenwich, and I'll remember this to the day I die. My very first play from scrimmage as a varsity quarterback was a simple dive play. Take the snap, hand the ball off. I was a little confused at the time. I reverse pivoted. I handed the ball off to the defensive lineman, who went untouched all the way down into their end zone.